Hey, good morning guys, welcome to the channel. It's been a little bit since our last video, which means we have a few farm updates and additions to show you guys. Where we got the rabbit video, if you guys saw that, we said we're cutting ourselves off after we got them, but clearly that didn't hold up very long, so show you guys what's going on the farm lately. And yeah, so the first update is with our rabbits. These are our newest addition to the farm. Guys, outside, come on. So we got these rabbits not that long ago, maybe a month or so. If you haven't seen the video where we got the rabbits, these are going to be our breeding females, and then we're going to be breeding them out for meat rabbits basically. And if you did watch the video where we got them, you'll notice that their pen's a lot bigger now. Previously this skid and this skid weren't here, so it was basically just these four slid up here, so it was a lot less space. In the intro, it's actually still like that, where I showed the rabbits a little bit. It was just way too small. We just found an extra 2 skids. It gives them a lot more space, and they seem to be pretty happy about it. So update number 2 with the rabbits is we got them hoping that they were pregnant, because they were in with a buck for 3 days prior to us getting them. But ended up just one was being pregnant, which that's fine, that's like whatever. And if you guys noticed in the intro where I'm showing the rabbits kind of close up after I give them the straw, the one's kind of scooping it all up in her mouth and hops into the bunny hutch in here and kind of starts making like a nest. So that was her nesting. Yeah, usually when the rabbits start to make their nest, it's usually like a week before they have their babies, and that was probably a week or so ago. And then a couple days ago, I came in here and I noticed in the area where she was making the nest, there's a bunch of fur pulled out, which usually the rabbits do that like a day or 2 prior to giving birth, just to kind of make the nest comfy and warm for the babies. But so I told Olivia and told her to come out and look at it, and then she was trying to light in because it's kind of darkened where they are, and all of a sudden the top of it just bumped up. So there's babies in there, which is awesome. We're not sure how many or what, because it's all covered in fur. I'll try to show you guys, but it's still pretty dark in there. I don't know, I'll try to lighten this up afterwards, but it's underneath this little ramp right there, and she just made a little big pile of fur. I kind of looked into it, and it's usually like around 3 weeks when the babies come out of the nest. So when that happens, we'll definitely make another video and keep you guys updated on all that. But yeah, it's exciting to know at least one of them were pregnant, and that we do have some babies that in a few months we'll be able to take to the butcher for some rabbit meat. So yeah, it's the 2 big updates with the rabbits. I'm pretty sure the other one isn't pregnant and isn't gonna have any babies because we never saw it make a nest or do anything that the other one did, or we never saw even a second nest made. So we're assuming just the one was pregnant, which is, like I said, totally fine. In the springtime, we're gonna be hoping to find a buck for these ladies, just because it'll be easier and just warmer in the spring to have babies. And I don't know, and like we're kind of pushing it right now at this time of year. Next 3 months kind of like right in the middle of winter for us, so we'll see what happens. They should be good. We'll make sure they're really warm and everything. But yeah, in the spring we're looking for a buck so we can just continuously breed back and forth between our 2 females. And the other thing you may have noticed in the intro at the very end, there was some new chickens and a whole new coop. So I'll show you guys that. We didn't end up recording any of like the build for that coop or anything like that because we were kind of in a rush. To get it done. We threw it up in like 2 days just because we were getting them from our neighbor who was like looking to sell them, and I saw that, so I like right away messaged them and said, hey, like we'll take them, but then we didn't have anywhere to put them, so yeah, we just had to throw that up really quickly so we had somewhere to put them. But yeah, I'll give you guys a quick tour of that and show you the new chickens. So this is the little run that we made outside of the coop. We just we got these posts from a buddy. They're just like stake posts. You just hammer them in with like a sledgehammer basically. We just did that, got some 5-foot welded wire, threw that around. I think it's basically 50 feet or so of a fence that they have. We only have the 4 chickens, so we don't need too much room. So this is the coop. We made it out of like the wallings, all like live edge slabs cut offs from a mill that was local that were free. So I just went and grabbed a truckload of those and worked out pretty well. So in this bin right here, we have their food. We have just meat grower and layer mixed in, just 1 bag each, and then that's basically because they're meat birds and they're layer birds, so pretty self-explanatory. Man door, little latch. So you open up here, we got the food hanging from the ceiling. So it's because it's a pretty small coop, so we wanted to try to give them as much area as possible. So by doing this, they have a little bit more area. We put this little roost in. This was Livia's idea. We just did like the little V's where it sits on, and we bought this just pole from like the hardware store. So you can just pull it in and out pretty easily. These are the 2 nesting boxes. I don't know if you guys remember from way back, if you ever watched those videos when we got the ducks initially in the greenhouse, in their little duck house, we had these 2 as like nesting boxes or whatever for the ducks. They didn't really use them, so we brought them in here and just threw them on the wall a little bit off the ground. So that's their nesting boxes, because these ones are laying already. They're at the laying age, so we've gone I think 6 or 7 eggs from them already at this point. We've only had them for a few days, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's a very simple built coop. It was just, like I said, these live edge slabs on the outside. And on the inside, we just put plywood just because there would be gaps in between each one because they didn't fit nicely. So in the winter and for the draft, we wanted to cover that up. You can kind of see some gaps here and there where my cut didn't fit perfectly. But I'm just gonna go through and caulk all that up before the winter actually comes. So should be good from the cold. This is the front of it. Same thing, it's the live edge slabs. Then in the barn or garage, whatever you want to call it, I have a bunch of extra sheet metal that I just threw on top of the roof and slanted a little bit so the rain water runs off. And yeah, it's worked pretty good so far. It's been raining like the last 4 days, so it's a good test for it. And if you saw in the intro, we just had this plywood door, and then we made this little latch so you can put it up there and it stays up. Then when you close it, just latch it into there and it stays closed. Same with the door, pretty simple latch system, just a piece of plywood. That's all you need. And then we also, for the window, we put chicken wire just for safety for when it's open and stuff, obviously. So these chickens are called light Sussex chickens. They're a dual purpose heritage breed. What that means is, compared to our meat kings that we have over in that chicken tractor over there, the meat kings, they only grow for like 10 to 12 weeks before they go to the butcher, because they're bred to grow really fast and really quickly, put on a lot of weight. These ones, however, they're like a dual purpose heritage, like I said, so they'll lay eggs and are good for meat. So when you have these ones for meat, they usually go around 6 months, I'm pretty sure. So it's a big difference, and they don't grow anywhere near as quick as the meat kings. Like if you see, these ones are over 6 months old, and our meat kings are probably fatter than these ones already. And they're only, I don't know, 9 weeks old maybe. So our plan with these is, instead of buying the meat kings every year from our local co-op and just only having them for like 10 weeks and then that's our like chicken supply for the year, me and Olivia kind of decided the meat kings, they're bred just to be like, just to eat basically, and just to get fat, which I don't know, it's fine, but we don't really overly enjoy having them per se. These ones though, these 4 and our rooster, so these 3 hens and that rooster right there, they're gonna be our breeding set. So we're gonna use these guys to breed out chicks basically, and then raise those guys up for 6 months and then use those for meat. So this will be more of a sustainable way for us to have meat compared to going out and having to buy it each year. This will just be hatch the eggs and then you have the chickens for a few months and then you take them for the butcher. So that's our plan and idea for these guys anyways. That's also why we didn't make the run overly big, because when we do have other chickens in here, our main purpose is for meat. Even though they will lay a few eggs before we take them to the butcher, we don't want them free ranging and burning off all those calories and all that meat. We still want them to put on a little bit, but compared to the chicken tractor, they got a lot more area. And you can see how plump these guys are. I stopped keeping their food trough full because they were getting really big, so I just wanted to slow it down a little bit because they can die of heart attacks and stuff if they grow too quickly. So I've just been like feeding them in the morning, how I do with like the hens and the ducks and stuff. I just give them a bunch of food, and then usually late afternoon I'll come back out and give them some more food, just so I can kind of regulate how much they're eating, because they were getting pretty big. You may also notice that we only have 3 of them. We originally had 6, I believe. We had one that just died randomly. I just came out one day and it was just dead. There was no marks or anything. There's nothing around like foul play or anything, so I'm not sure. Like I said, they're bred just to eat, so like they don't have the best health conditions sometimes. So that brought us down to 5. And then the one morning I came out here and there was only 4 in the chicken tractor, and there was one that was you could tell it was been attacked. So I'm pretty sure we've seen a fox around, so I'm pretty sure a fox dug it and got one, and then we had to put the other one down because it got attacked. We didn't want to eat the meat if it was infected or anything like that, and it's kind of in a little bit of pain. So that brings us down to 3. That's kind of why we have all this wood put around here, blocking up any cracks or anything like that, and that's worked pretty good for the last week or so. So hopefully these guys make it another couple weeks till we take them to the market. So as you guys can see, like their living conditions isn't overly amazing. Like I'm sure it's better than factory chickens and all that stuff, but they only know to eat basically, compared to like the light Sussex that I showed you. So once these guys are gone, we'll be happy to not have to buy them again and just continue our production through the other chickens that way, and it's more kind of our style, so we'll be happy to do that. I've been letting the ducks out of their run a little bit these last few days, just because they've turned their run into, they've pretty much eaten all their grass in there, and I feel bad for them. So I let them out for a little bit each day just to all our grass. I haven't cut that in a few weeks, so they really like it when they come out. As you can tell. We are planning on changing up their fencing situation, the ducks and the chickens, pretty shortly, actually. I don't know if you guys ever watched the original video. I don't know if I ever even recorded or put it on YouTube when we made the duck run, but we did it really quickly because we had to make it before we went to Ontario, and it was just unfortunate timing and things happened. So this was originally supposed to be just like a temporary run, but it's been we've been using it all year. So we want to give both the chickens and the ducks more space, and our original plan was to have the chickens and ducks like intermingle together because they can live happily together as long as they're introduced properly, and they've been living side by side like every day outside for months now, so they're well introduced to each other. And a few days I'll come out here and there'll be chickens that flew over the fence into the ducks, and there's no problem there. Hoping soon to kind of make the same kind of fence that we made for the light Sussex chickens with the wood posts and the welded wire. It's a foot taller than this stuff. It's just only 4 feet tall. The wire's 5 feet tall, because we've had problems with the chickens flying out of their run. We've clipped their wings, but they still managed to get out, especially the Azures, because they're the smaller breeds, so I guess they're so lightweight that they can just jump out pretty easily. So we're thinking if we get an extra foot of fence that might height wise that might help with that. And we're also thinking they're jumping out because in the chicken run they scratched all the dirt basically, so they just jump out so they can eat the grass. So if we're thinking if we can expand their run and the ducks run both, so we can bring it out more out to here, it'll double or triple their space, and then they won't want to jump out as much. So each of their runs basically is around 50 foot of fencing for the ducks and for the chickens. So we're thinking if we combine the chickens and ducks together so like their runs are combined, that'll give both of them double the space to begin with. And then if we double that space as well, so make double what's already here and bring this out to there, that'll basically, I don't know, triple, quadruple, I don't know, give them a lot more space than what they already have anyways, and a lot more grass that's currently grown. So by doing that, we're hoping that, I don't know, maybe let some more grass grow back and keep all the chickens in their run. And then on top of that, also the wood post with that kind of fencing just looks a lot nicer than this plastic fencing with like the metal T-posts. Just looks a lot more like real fence. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah. So that's our reasoning for that. So we're hoping to be doing that kind of soon-ish, because like I said, every day there's usually a couple chickens that fly out, and then I have to come out and, okay Sonny, I have to come out and throw them back in the run, and then a few hours they're just back outside anyways. So that's not ideal, especially because I said we have the fox that comes out of this bush right here. So I mean, it's pretty much a straight shot to those chickens if they're out of their run. So yeah, we're hoping that'll fix our problem and make it a bit nicer to look at as well. I don't know if we ever really mentioned anything about our cats or anything, but Sunny, she is half Bengal apparently. You can kind of see it in her face a little bit, and her temperament especially shows it a lot. But yeah, she's a crazy cat. And then Daisy's a bit more independent sometimes. I don't know, they kind of switch. I don't know if this is a thing anyone else has experienced, but this is like our compost pile, obviously. And I'd say like 80% of that is from like the ducks in the duck coop, and for whatever reason they love like eating at it and pecking at it, but like it's just basically their poop mixed in with old straw and like wood shavings. So I don't know, it's a little weird. Sonny. Jump. Jump. Okay, go up. Go up. So yeah, the way I have this little T-post gate rigged up is I have just a shallow hole there and I put it in and then I tuck it in behind this corner trim of the barn and I just hold it there, holds the fence enough. It's a little bit off the ground, but the ducks don't try to challenge the fence. There's something there that you kind of stay away from it, so works out pretty good. So our last update on the farm. Oh, where'd he go? Oh. So this is our newest addition. It's an Easter egg or chick. We got 12 eggs that we tried to hatch out, but only one hatched. So this one's all on its own right now. We're trying to find like one or two from people around like us that maybe have chicks to keep it company, but haven't had any luck so far because of the time of year. Most people aren't really hatching chicks. So right now it's just on its own. So this chick, we named it Marvel, which means miracle, because it hatched on day 31, right babe? Yeah. Yeah, because it hatched on day 31, which for those of you who don't know, chicks usually hatch like typically on day 21 to day 22. Not really sure like the exact breed of this chick. Usually Easter eggers are kind of mixed in with Americanas somewhere down the line, so it's probably part Americana, part whatever else. But yeah, so we were trying to hatch out a bunch of just for more color, like variety for our eggs, but we only got this one, so we're hoping it turns out to be a female because we already have like 4 roosters, so we can't really take on any more roosters with the amount of hens that we have. So either way, we're probably going to end up keeping this one just because of the fact that it hatched on day 31, which is pretty insane, especially for the first hatch.
Yeah, she's our first hatched chick, too.
Yeah, it's the first chick we've ever hatched, and for it to hatch on day 31. Like, if we turned off the incubator, like, on day 25 or something, it never would have been able to hatch, which is sad. So, we're happy that we kept it on, for sure, but it's unfortunate that it's the only one. Little baby update. Hey, Jacko. Hey, Jacko. Hey. He's tired right now. You want your stuffy? Oh, I'll put it back in your mouth. Oh. Oh. Okay. Baby number 2. Frankie. Hi, baby. Look at your pudgy cheeks. What's that? You talking, Jacko? Oh, yeah? Wow. Oh. All right, so that's everything for this little farm update video. We'll keep you updated with our little Easter egg or chick that we have, and with the baby rabbits. Once they come out of the nest, we'll definitely make a video on them. But yeah, that's everything for the video. Let us know if we should get any more animals. What animals do you guys think we should get? Because we have a problem and can't stop. So any recommendations we'll take.
Or don't. Because we will get it.
But yeah, if you guys liked it, feel free to like, subscribe if you guys want to keep up with the farm and everything. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.